Hey everyone, Skull902 back here once again for another part of Yoshi's Island. So this is part 10, and here in part 10 we're going to be finishing World 5 with a few exciting levels, including Goonie rides here. New enemy type is introduced, these birds here. Much like balloons, they go at a decent speed, and when you jump on top of them, you can ride them, but they get much slower. I find these birds pretty fucking annoying, actually. I take a few hits, usually when I play levels with them in it, or at least this one. I do take a couple of hits here early, but it's all Shy Guys. One of which, one hit that I take is pretty fucking pathetic. This guy I'm about to get hit by. Look at that shit. Disgusting. But aside from that, we're still counting down to Christmas. By the time that this part is uploaded, or I should say on the day that this part is uploaded, it should be December 23rd, only 2 days away from Christmas. And I do want to once again continue the Crimbo Chronicles. So, like I always do, except for in that one part, because I forgot, but, like I mostly do, please, if you've got a Christmas tradition that you like to partake in, or just a holiday tradition, whatever, around these times for whatever you celebrate, I welcome you to, put it in the comments section. I would love to hear about it. Memories, traditions, whatever floats your boat, in terms of, saying anything. So, with that out of the way, I was thinking about stuff to mention, and, I thought about, like, how, talking to Santa is something that, like, most every kid that celebrates Christmas does. And I was like, do I have any amusing Santa stories? So I really tried digging in my memory banks here. But I think that I have a couple. And I kind of like the irony, too. Also, that fucking bird saved me. I kind of like the irony of, thank you again for the save. The irony of the fact that my two stories here come from the very beginning and the very end of a decade. So, when it comes to meeting Santas, I've got like 3 stories that I really want to delve into, and I'll make a short mention of another one. So in the year 2000, I actually met 2 Santas. And the first one I met at, I'm gonna use the word community center, even though that's not really the case. Because it's just like basically a stage area, a dance floor and whatnot, but it's in the park where I live. And they had an event there where kids could meet Santa and all that. The traditional Santa meeting sort of deal where you sit on his lap and tell him what you want for Christmas. So I remember that time. There's a great picture of my little sister basically giving him the talk to the hand gesture. That's pretty great. But as far as like me, what did I tell Santa? What makes this an amusing story? Well, the Powerpuff Girls was a pretty popular show on Cartoon Network back in the day, and they didn't really have any demographics in mind. The creators when they were making the show, they just wanted to make a show that was entertaining. So with that in mind, here I am, 6-year-old me, going to Santa, and this was like when the show was super like popular and shit. So the merch had just started to come out, and it was like the first thing I thought of. So I'm nervous as shit because I'm thinking Santa's gonna think that I want girl toys, which is kind of what they were advertised as. So like the marketing for the show was all like, "Oh, hey, here's a girl show," but in reality, it was just a general action show for anybody. But I think that I spoke to Santa in very hushed tones about wanting a Blossom doll. So, in hindsight, I just, find that kind of funny. That I was so nervous about it. But, it happens, I guess. I was a shy kid, and honestly, even now, I'm fairly shy in normal situations. Talking to you guys is like, a piece of cake when I'm like, quote unquote, performing. But like, catch me in DMs or something, and then I'll be pretty short, and not like the angry kind of short. I mean, like my responses will be short. Whatever. I'm shy. That's the point. The only other thing I remember about that particular function was over the PA system. This was also when Who Let the Dogs Out was everywhere. So they were playing Who Let the Dogs Out by the Baha Men. So like all the kids like we were dancing and having a good time. My mom fucking hated that song, so she complained. So yeah, good times. 2000 Christmas gathering, whatever. We did see a second Santa that year. And the only really amusing thing about that, the only reason why I'm mentioning it here is because I remember distinctly thinking to myself that Santa, like, wasn't as good as the other one that we had met and talked to. Purely because I liked the other Santa's beard more. So, even back then, when I didn't understand the true power of beards, I was still smart enough to recognize that a good beard is something to admire. So yeah. I'm sorry. But, later on in the decade, 2009, now you might be thinking, okay, 6 years old, visiting Santa, that sounds normal. 15 years old, what are you doing? Well, I didn't necessarily visit Santa, come to talk to him and sit on his lap and tell him what I wanted for Christmas, but just a short little thing, really. But, when, my local mall had set up a thing for Santa, for kids to visit him and stuff. My friend and I, the one that gave me the copy of Sonic Unleashed, we frequented the mall. That's where I got my Detroit Red Wings jersey from that I mentioned on the last part. But we saw this Santa for like 2 weeks, in a row. We were going to the mall, again, like very frequently. Saw the Santa there, like, basically every day. I guess one of these days I wanted Santa to feel appreciated. So, like, I forget if he was taking a break or if he was actually, like, talking to kids. I feel like I wouldn't have interrupted him if he were with a child, but in any case, I saw Santa, like, at his station, So I called over to him and I said, "Hey, Santa, you're doing a great job. We love you." And this fucking Chad to Claus. God, I'm stupid. But this guy, he turns around and he like gives us a thumbs up. It was great. I feel like Santa and I shared a beautiful moment at that time. So I just wanted to bring that up to you. He may not have delivered on the Blossom doll, but you know, he was a cool guy during that moment in my teens, so all is forgiven. And then, like, the only other Santa story that I can remember is, like, kind of depressing, actually, because when I was 9, just to go back, you know, a few years before, like, my cousin took me, my siblings, and my mom to a different mall, and they had Santa there, but, like, we went around and did different shit first. And my little sister really wanted to fucking talk to Santa. You know, us other kids, we weren't really interested, you know, we were a bit old for that. But my little sister, I guess, was still at, you know, an acceptable age for such a thing. She wanted to talk to Santa, but it was too late, and she was very sad. So, again, quite depressing. So I'll get away from that and move on to the next subject, which is, of course, cartoon episode recaps. 91, goddamn. So, like, the next episode of Super Mario World that I want to indulge into is called A Little Learning. It's a focus episode, of course, on Yoshi and Oogtar, unfortunately. So, how does this episode go? Well, apparently there's a school in Dome City that Princess Toadstool runs, and Yoshi and Oogtar, like, come up to her at the start of the day, and Oogtar's like, "Hey, teacher, here's an apple for you," but it turns out to be a Wiggler, which pisses the princess off. But the plot is kickstarted by Hip and Hop. They're like, "Oh man, school, this sounds fantastic." But oh man, you know, King Koopa, he doesn't want his sons going to school. That's a bit too smart for you know, villains like them. But you know, after all the virtues such as illiteracy and cheating and all that he tries to instill in them, they remind him about lying. So he's like, "Ah, yeah, that's a great one to have too. So yeah, none of you kids are going to school." Which they agree to, but oops, they have their fingers, you know, tied behind their back. So they were lying, you know, just like he said that they should. So they go to school without his know-how, and the princess is taken a little back by this, aback, I should say. But she's accepting of them. The cave people, not so much. Which, gonna be honest, not very bueno of you, cavemen. Didn't your mothers teach you any fucking manners? Goddammit, for real. But like. So the princess is like, "Come on, guys. You know, if they actually want to do some good for themselves, give them a chance." So the cave people are like, "Okay." So, you know, they give them a chance. And while that's going on, Yoshi and Oogtar play a little trick on them, where they get them to basically chew that world's equivalent to gum, which the princess just straight up fucking calls gum. So they get them to chew gum in class, and they blow big bubbles. When the princess comes back into the classroom, the bubbles pop and gum gets stuck all over them. And then the princess is like, "Okay, you're new here, so you're not gonna get in trouble for that, but that ain't fucking allowed." So Yoshi and Oogtar, man. They played a bit of a nasty trick, you know, to get the new students in trouble. Didn't quite work, but, you know, whatever. So, like, immediately after the school day begins, Princess calls a recess. So, outside, you know, the cave kids, Ugtar, Yoshi, and Hip and Hop are like playing some ball game, presumably dodgeball. I'm not sure. When Hip and Hop are like, you know, this game's wimpy. Let's change things up a little. They deliberately pop the ball and throw it back to the princess, who doesn't know that they were the ones behind the insidious ball hopping, or popping rather. So she's like, okay, I'll go inside and get another one. And then Hip and Hop play the trick, you know. They start throwing what Yoshi calls fireballs, which is a lovely meme. You know, they start throwing those, and it's fucking chaos. It eventually leads to Ugtar and Yoshi like fighting the other two, which the princess blames entirely on Ugtar, and you know, he fucking deserved it. You know, just desserts. But it all leads to, like, this science fair. And, like, Yoshi and Ugtar's project for this science fair here is, like, a big old plant. But Hip and Hop, man, they're being absolute fucks. Not only do they sabotage the plant? They put a piranha plant in Yoshi and Ugtar's project. But, you know, at the same time, their project is a volcano, you know, like one of those volcanoes you make in science class. But they wanted to spew, like, real lava all over, so they set that up. Meanwhile, King Koopa's wondering where the hell, you know, his two kids here have been. So he starts looking for them. Next day, you know, they're doing their science project. Mario and Luigi are the judges. The princess, you know, is like, well, you know, they haven't been the greatest students, but I've been proud of Hip and Hop, so I wonder what they've got going on for their project. Whichever one, I don't fucking know their names, like, individually speaking. One of them is underground, set to make the volcano blow off. And then the other one's doing the actual project in class. The one doing the presentation talks about the volcano and has the other one do, like, an innocent eruption, or whatever. Makes it spew a little fire or whatever. So Yoshi and Ugtar get jealous. You know, so Ugtar hatches a little bit of a plan. He's like, hey, you know what? I'll put some extra fertilizer in our plant to make it grow even bigger and better. But unfortunately, that turns out to be a dumbass idea by a dumbass kid. I fucking hate Ugtar. I can't tell you enough just how much this kid fucking bothers me, alright? He's stupid. He's dumb. And I probably shouldn't be going on this long about it. But, you know, he puts the fertilizer in, and the piranha plant, like, gets super big. So, that's a bit of an uh-oh. Of course. And then King Koopa finds whichever one of the two, you know, Hip or Hop or, you know, Bounce, whatever the fuck. Whichever one is underground controlling the volcano, and he's like, you little motherfucker, I told you not to go to school. And he's like, no, Dad. You gotta see what we're gonna do for the project. It's gonna be great. You would love it. So, like, when King Koopa's wrestling away this kid from the controls, he inadvertently makes the volcano, like, spurt all the way. So, like, lava engulfs the fucking classroom. It's absolutely destroyed. Like, But the problems aren't done there. You know, everybody escapes, but like lava's rushing out, but also the piranha plant is on the loose as well. Fortunately for everybody, it decides to chase after King Koopa and his two kids instead, so that they can breathe a little bit of a sigh of relief. It eventually eats them. And then Yoshi eventually eats the plant. So for any vor fetishists out there, which I believe is a joke that I made in the first Super Mario World commentary. But, you know, for the vor fetishists out there, I guess there's something for you. But that's aside from the point. Yoshi spits the villains back out. And then, there's still the problem of the lava. So, Mario and Luigi, they take care of it by redirecting the pipes to Bowser's castle. So, like, it shows Bowser at the very end. He's like, oh my god, hip hop, get me out of here, you know, I'll send you to school like you want. So, like, he's in his fucking bedroom, right? Fucking just surrounded in lava. And, you know, there's no way he's getting out of there. And that's how the episode ends. I'll get into my thoughts after this. This here is the Yoshi train. This is the last of the new vehicles that we're going to see. Easily the most uncommon of them, and situational, really, as well. You know, it's just like, it's just kind of there, to be perfectly honest. I tried getting the flower, but unfortunately it wasn't really going. So I think I gave up. The flower, it don't matter. It don't matter. But as far as like my thoughts on A Little Learning goes, you know, it's a fine enough episode. I think, like, you know, the Koopa kids wanting to go to school is a bit strange, but I guess they had their plan figured out, you know, all ahead, and whatnot. Plus, you know, Peach acts a little out of character too. You know, I don't think that she would respond to all the kids fighting by you know, only getting mad at Ugtar, like, not even Yoshi. But, you know, then again, I don't like Ugtar, so he deserved it. In my opinion. But, you know, otherwise, it's Super Mario World, so, you know, it's dumb fun. What can you say? So, aside from that, we get to our boss here now, and it's another case of make my monster grow. So, we've seen these little ravens every now and then. You just stomp on them to take care of them. But this guy, after he becomes big, another one of my favorite boss fights in this game, really. This is Raphael the Raven. He knocks your eggs off of you, sends you to fucking space, I guess. And then he goes off to his home planet that needs him. That being this tiny little moon or whatever, which I guess isn't a planet. Whatever, fuck it. Basically, you just run around here and stick these poles up his ass, which makes him progressively angrier. You know, it's not like the smartest boss strategy in the world or anything, and you know, again, like, it's a Nintendo fight, so you only really have to get him 3 times. But I think that this makes a great graphical use of the Super Nintendo's you know, technology and whatnot. It's very fun visually. It's a fun concept. You ram those fucking poles up his ass, and then he becomes a constellation. So you know, I'd say it's all around a pretty fun boss fight. If short, it is pretty fucking short, but you know, that's aside from the point. It's just a fun one, so, yeah. My first minus 50 in terms of score on that one. That's a little disappointing, but again, Raphael the Raven. Good boss fight. I like him. So, yeah. As Yoshi runs along here and liberates yet another part of the island, we're going to see something interesting, actually. The daytime aesthetic is going to become a nighttime aesthetic when this here baby blows up, and that will translate to the title screen as well. So if I went back to the title, then it would be nighttime. So that's an interesting touch. I kind of like that. It looks all nice and beautiful. Not that it didn't before, of course, but, you know, it's fun to see some progress, you know? Speaking of progress, we're going to see some more in the next part. I'll meet you there. I have been Skull902. Thank you for watching, and have yourselves a wonderful day. Huh? Why the hell are you cutting back to me? Oh my god. Everyone, it is with a heavy heart I report to you that, due to the injuries he sustained fighting Kaboombas in the last castle, Blue Yoshi has died. It'll be tough to do 2 levels in one world, but you're gonna have to take the reins for the last castle, Green. However, I know you can do it. To you, Blue Yoshi, our friend, rest in peace. Gone, but most certainly not forgotten.